And then he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills.
I can't catch a break, guys.
Yeah.
Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys.
People think, oh, well, cleaning your room, that's just a cliche. It's like, yeah, really, eh? Just go ahead and try it.
If people had any idea how powerful sleep is for healing from anything, and the fact that it's free.
My mind is absolutely bulletproof, solid as a rock.
Podcast. How is it going, guys? Welcome to the Fighting Fit podcast. Niall and Mr. Brandon Mulligan here. How's it going, Brandon?
All is well here. What's the crack?
So what are we here to talk about today?
So today, I think, being the time of year that it is, we should probably talk about New Year, New Me.
Oh, I don't know if I like that. New Year's resolutions.
Well, it's all the same thing. The only thing I don't like about that kind of whole thing is
it's the same you.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Well, again, you're not gonna completely flip the script and undo years worth of damage with the flick of a switch. It's going to take a little bit of commitment. It's going to take a little bit of discipline. It certainly can be done, but for the most part, it's just a clean slate.
Exactly.
So it's a new chance. It's an opportunity for a new year and a new me, but you have to do the work.
Yeah, I think we've all been victim to it in the past. More, sorry, I just laughed there. You were just staring at me laugh there. I just think I think a lot of people have made the same New Year's resolution or resolutions like years and years in a row, and they come to the end of that year and realize, oh, it's been 5 years now. I still haven't did that thing that I wanted to do 5 years ago. And they kind of beat themselves up, but they don't understand how, like, they attack their character rather than their discipline.
Their works.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what did you change? Or, like, what, like, are you any different than you were a year ago? Like, is your mindset different? Is your work ethic different? Is your discipline different? Is your consistency different? And it's like, if you're not going to change, if you're not going to make some drastic effort to change, then you will stay the same. And it's not that you're a bad person or you're stupid or you're like you're not a hard worker in certain areas, but it's like you didn't change the specific area that you needed to change to get the goal that you wanted to get.
Yeah. So an awful lot of it comes from what I think is research and study. You know, so it's literally cases like, how do you lose weight? It's like, well, you go to a coach and that's great, and the coach has got a great education and great knowledge of the subject, but it means you're reliant on a coach. It means that you don't know how to do the extra work, when really if you wanted to lose weight, you should be doing the self-study. You should be looking up what diets work.
How to lose weight.
Exactly, yeah, literally, and doing some research.
Probably one of the most highly searched Google searches, I'd say.
Yeah, but studying the coaches, so literally going on to YouTube and watching the experts, literally having a talk about it, watching people that inspire you, listen to their advice. The template is there. It's all there by the people who've done it, but it's all well and good at been there, and it's another thing you actually listen to it, paying attention, and then taking the knowledge that you now have, because the other side of it is people have done the study, they've done the research, and they lack taking it into action, and action is where it's at. So it's like, if you don't actually ever take the actions that need to be done, you're never going to get the result.
It's like watching like fitness YouTubers or all that sort of stuff. It's like, you always say like, oh, I wish I could be like that, or like, oh, I want to be like that, and then you kind of research how to do it, but you're only then 2 weeks later you're back to where you start again. And then I feel like you kind of start to live your fitness kind of dreams through them. So you watch them and you're like, oh, you like,
that's
you don't, yeah, that's like you somehow give yourself the out that you don't need to be like that, because like you live your life, you live your dream through their life, if that makes sense.
I kind of get what you mean. Yeah, it's kind of like, well, you're watching them experience it, and that kind of gives you a little
it's like, oh, I'm kind of there.
That'll do me for the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, I don't need to go out and, get my 10,000 steps or do my workout or hit my macros and all that today, because
it's the same thing as people watching a Rocky movie.
Exactly. It's like, once it's over, you want to go out and bath or some boxing.
You get all the thrill of the fight without actually having to do any training. And that is the big thing about it, is I really think that some people myself included, it's like when you first start doing something and you say you want it and you look at the result that you want, and then when you put your head down and you actually start doing the process, you're like, oh my god, like
this is way harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I'm not prepared for this amount of work. I wasn't prepared for how actually in the moment difficult this is going to be. And then the next part of that is they're not the kind of person that's able to endure that yet because they're only beginning. You know, it's like if you look at somebody who's an expert in something, it's like there is a rare 1% or maybe 2 or 3% who are just, they pick up something, maybe it's football or basketball or weightlifting, and they're naturals and they literally just take to it like a duck to water. You know, it's just instinctual for them. And then there's other people like, and again, maybe performing at the similar level, but the way that they got there was through going through that same process that you're experiencing right now and sticking with it. And eventually it got easier. Eventually it felt a little bit more instinctual, but they had to go through that process same as everybody else. And you know, it's like sometimes there is no hidden ability, sometimes there is no easy road. It's just hard work, dedication, discipline, and consistency.
Yeah, I feel like people try to set too big a goals sometimes. Like, I don't know, like someone, they've taken boxing for instance, or even actually no, a better example for you, like someone like who's never ran before goes, I want to run a marathon. It's like, how about you run a kilometre first and see how you get on.
I want to.
How about you go for a walk first and see what happens.
I want to lose 100 pounds. Why don't you start by eating a strawberry? When was the last time you ate it? When was the last time it was snack time and you reached for a bit of fruit? That's where I'd start. You know, it's like, but it's like people don't see it like that. It's like they look at the result. I want to lose a stone. It's like, how do you lose a stone? It's like, get
you
up.
lose 1 pound 14 times.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to lose 14 all at once.
How do you lose a pound? You take it day by day.
3,500 calorie deficit every week.
There you go. Well, there you go.
500 calorie deficit a day.
And it's like, and how do you do that? Well, you move more. You eat less.
You make better decisions.
You move, and then after that, then you start looking at the quality of movement. So walking's great, it's fantastic. It's like, and next up, maybe you're starting to add swimming, maybe you start adding biking, maybe you start adding a little bit of resistance training in there, maybe you start doing some push-ups, some squats, some kettlebell work. Maybe you start looking at your nutrition. Okay, so maybe you start eating less. Then maybe you start eating more of the right foods and less of the wrong foods. Maybe you start keeping a food diary then. And again, it's just this ongoing process. And I can only speak for, you know, health and fitness and weight loss, because that's my area of expertise. But you know, that works for everything. If you're learning to play guitar, it's lesson by lesson, it's day by day. You know, it's like maybe you start off with a little cheap guitar and it doesn't sound too good, and you don't sound too good, and you start getting confident with that. You start getting competent. You buy yourself a new guitar and you start building up. You buy yourself a speaker, and you know, it's this process.
Sure, Ed Sheeran couldn't sing when he was younger, apparently.
There you go. Well, there you go.
That was on TV. He played like a recording of
Actually,
himself.
I think I heard that, yeah.
He recorded himself singing. He was like, I don't know, he must have been like fucking 13 or 14 or something like that, and he was terrible. Now he's the biggest sound singer in the world.
Seen him in concert, it's great.
I saw him in concert too, it's great. But yeah, so...
It's a bit like me when I first started. I didn't even know what a tricep was when I started.
I barely even remember like my first Fight and Fit workout. I don't remember, but I remember being in a gym when I was younger. But I think back now, and I have the fear of what it looked like, me in the gym to people that are my age now, or even people that are coaches now, and I would probably look like an absolute spanner. Like on the lat pull down machine and the chest fly machine and all that,
But again, I appreciate a trier. That's what
yeah,
I
exactly.
say. I don't really give a crap about, you know, I love technique in exercise because it keeps your form right. You know, it keeps you safe.
Yeah.
I love seeing somebody nail a diet plan because, you know, it's good for them. But it's like, I just love to see someone try hard. You
like nothing makes me more happy when I'm leading a class than seeing the look on someone's face when I know that even like they might not be the strongest, the fittest, the fastest, or you know, the best at said exercise or workout in particular, but I can see on their face they're trying their absolute hardest, and I just love it.
To just have a hunger, whatever it is, they want it.
Like when I say jump higher, they try their absolute bestest to jump higher.
Yeah.
And like some people you say jump higher to some people, and they almost jump an inch lower, but
And I remember when I was boxing. I remember I was running with this girl. I was trying to coach her at the time. Jim kind of just sent us out for a few laps, and we were there to coach her. And I was obviously faster than her at the time. I was older, and I was jogging beside her. And it's not that I wanted to run exceptionally fast. It's just that she was motoring along at this pace, and I said, "Come on, let's pick it up," and literally no change in speed, no change in facial expression, no nothing. Just literally just.
That could come down to kind of immaturity as well.
No,
or like not even immaturity, just like
no, because she wanted it. It literally is a case whereby it's like she just refused to dig deeper. There is a place that is filled with pain, and it's that cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek.
Yeah.
But it is bloody scary, and I like, in all fairness to her, it's like maybe she generally had a really bad experience with pushing her body before. Maybe she just is resigned to not do it again. But it's the fact that it's like when you ask someone to do something, it's like they can want the result, but just will not dig deep to that place because it's too uncomfortable to go to, and it's like, and whether that's, accepting a harsh reality, it's like David Goggins, one of my favourite motivational speakers, he used to be really overweight, and he used to say to himself all the time, it's like, if you're fat, it's like, you start calling yourself fat, it's like, you need to be honest with yourself, because you sugarcoating it isn't going to do anything, it's like, it's not going to help you change, or it's not going to motivate you or inspire you. It's like, and yeah, it might be, it might be harsh to hear, it might be hard in yours, but maybe that's what you need to move forward. It's like, unfortunately, it's like most of the times in my life that I've grown has been because either a coach or a family member has came to me and told me something that I didn't want to hear. It's either you're not performing up to the potential I see in you, you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, like my coach telling me like who are you trying to kid here? It's like, you're not doing the work you're supposed to do, and you're not lifting the extra weights that I've given you to lift, you're not running the extra miles that you're supposed to be running, and yet you're telling me that you want this Irish Championship. And it's not that I didn't want the Irish Championship, it's just that I was incapable of doing the work because I was so pathetic and useless. I wasn't developed in that area, I wasn't developed in my discipline and my getting up early and doing the things that I know I should be doing, which I'm a lot better at doing now, but I'm still not perfect. It's that case of just, you have to understand where you're at, and I was not an Irish champion. Like, if you went inside my mind and inside the mind of an actual Irish champion, it's like they were completely different places.
Yeah.
It's like just not the right type of person, because I hadn't developed myself. I hadn't done the things I was supposed to do, and I was a great wee fighter. It's like I'd get in there and scrap with nearly anybody, but it's like when it came to that extra 10%, the 10% that was going to make the difference, it's like
it's where the men are separated from the boys.
Yeah, I just seem to always take the path of least resistance.
But that's the case for a lot of people.
Not only that is the case at a cellular level.
That's the case for probably if nobody made a conscious choice to be different, that's probably the case for
exactly.
everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Like unless you have got like people ask all the time, it's like, for me anyway, it's like there's two types of motivation. There is a why, so it's like, why are you doing it? So it's like, what is your reason for doing it?
Yeah.
It's like, I want something so bad, it's either I'm seeking pleasure or I'm running away from pain.
Yeah.
It's like, so you're either chasing something or you're running from something. And then the other one is, had it there, it's on the tip of my tongue, is gratitude. It's like, because really it's like gratitude is energy. It's like, if you get up in the morning and you're like, oh, I don't want to get out of this bed, oh, I have a stupid job that I have to go to, and then after that I'm going to be tired, and I have to come home and make dinner. It's like, if you kind of say it with that kind of attitude, it's like, yeah, it sounds pretty terrible. It's like, if you wake up and you're like, thank God for this bed that I got to sleep in last night instead of being out in the cold, like so many people are. It's like, that's a different kind of waking up.
Yeah.
Thank God I get into a shower. I heard a story one time about these girls in India, and they literally can't even go to school, not because the service isn't there for them, but because they are so unhygienic from lady problems that they literally, and don't have a shower, that they literally can't attend school.
Like, they don't let them in?
Well, I think it's more of a social thing, like they wouldn't go in unhygienic,
yeah, no, true.
and they literally have no showers. It's like, okay, did you have a shower today, or can you have a shower today? You're very lucky. It's like, it's not that you have to go to your crappy job, it's that you get to go to this job, even though it's not the best case scenario in the world. Yes, we'd all like to be, millionaires, living on yachts, free to do whatever we like, but it's like,
that's not the real world.
Well, it is for some people. That's the far end of the spectrum, and
that's the 0.1% of the people that actually put in the work.
And some people are just lucky.
Some people are lucky. Some people are.
Some people literally
some
win
people
lotto.
are unlucky.
Some people win lotto. Some people are just lucky.
I feel like it could win lotto could be a curse, because if you don't, I don't think if you don't have the means to deal with it, I think you could absolutely ruin your whole life.
Definitely could, and it definitely has. But again, it's like you can end up with that lifestyle. It's like, and again, if you're,
That'd be great.
but the thing about it is, like, if you win lotto and you're grateful,
Hmm.
you won't spend nothing ridiculous stuff because you're so grateful. You know, it's like if you give. What there was loads of kind of YouTube or Facebook stuff done with that, where, you know, they give a homeless man, you know, $20 or a full pizza or something, and then they come up to him and ask him, "Oh, can I have a slice?" And he goes, "Oh, of course you can have a slice." You know,
Yeah,
because he literally has nothing, and then, you know, do the same thing to somebody who has something, to give him a free pizza, and then an unsuspecting or an unassociated person comes up and is like, "Oh, can I have a slice of pizza?" Like, no, because the more you have, the less you appreciate it. You know, sort of way. So it's kind of
I know what you mean.
and that's so again, gratitude for me is energy. So if you're looking for motivation, it's like you need to pick something to run towards. You need to pick something to run away from, and you need to be grateful. And you, like, if you're looking for motivation, guys, I'm literally speaking to you right now. If you're looking for motivation, pick 5 things that you have to be grateful for. If you think you don't have something to be grateful for, it's like, well, there is problem number 1. It's like, if you live,
No matter who you are,
if you have got €2 in your pocket, you are literally you're sailing over the bar of what an awful lot of people have. You know, that is €2. You know, it's like, that's enough for 2 cheeseburgers at McDonald's, and there's some people that would literally rob, lie, and steal for that.
Yeah.
Rob, lie, and steal. Robbing and stealing are the same thing.
Rob, lying, steal. Lying, cheating, stealing. Is that like Eddie? That's Eddie Guerrero, the wrestler, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Sounds similar, innit? Yeah, that kind of reminds me, even just like for the work. Basically, Brandon has roped me, after this podcast is done. Brandon's roped me into doing a workout, and I've been complaining about it all morning because I didn't sleep well last night. And when you think about what everybody else goes through in their daily life, I sound like a big crying baby that is throwing his toys out of the pram because he didn't get to have as much sleep in his warm, comfy bed in his warm, comfy house, and had to come to his warm, cozy job to get his warm, cozy money, and now he has to do a warm, cozy workout in his warm, cozy free studio to use.
Well, it's not only that. It's literally a case of, like, the only reason we have to work out is because we've so little physical labour to actually do. There's literally people in the world who work in coal mines. Like, literally, from the minute they get up, I think I read something about a coal mine. They literally had to crawl like an hour, maybe longer, to get to them into the mine. Then you crawl through like a little hole.
Yeah.
You have to crawl there, start the job. You don't get paid on your way there. You get paid when you're there, and then when you leave, you've got an hour home through a coal mine to get home. That's your job, and you're only paid for the time in the mine. And it's like we just and again, some people do. Some people are very grateful. I'm sure there's people listening to this and, you know, they woke up this morning and they're grateful for everything. But again, if that's not you, if you're not enthused or energized, you know, it's like, look for something to be grateful for. I know that sometimes it's just hard. I know that it's so hard. Trust me, I know.
It's very easy to feel sorry for yourself.
Like, the same way as I can look at that man in the boat, in the yacht, you know, it's like I can easily look and see the poor fella sitting homeless in the road, who's lost his family, who's probably picked up a drug addiction or something along the lines, and the chaos of that life is just so unbearable. And if that's you, it's like, I know that that's ridiculously hard, but it's like you're breathing. You know, it's like you have that breath because there's somebody on the way out.
I feel like so many people would scoff at that, though. It's like, sure, you have tenor and you're alive, and people are like, so?
Yeah,
everyone's alive.
Like I said, it's like not everyone, but that's the
Exactly.
thing. Not everyone is, and that's why you literally, it's like, you can always go lower. You know, so you can always go lower. It's like
we could go 100 million steps lower than we are right now.
It's like, you know, there's some fates worse than death. It's like, it's not just dying. You know, it's like, imagine, you know, you live in the Amazon and you've got that disease that when you pee in the river, it swims up your pee and lives inside you. So that sounds pretty terrible.
That sounds very terrible.
It's horrible. You know, it's like, there's some people out there that literally, you know, they're blind. You know, maybe
that is awful, honestly. Like, blind, deaf, like, that's...
I'm sure there is somebody out there who's blind, deaf and dumb.
And it loves life.
And, well, probably could be really grateful. Yeah, of course. You know,
to
it's
be
like,
alive.
This is it. It's like, gratitude is energy, guys. So if you're looking for energy, just look to your left at somebody worse than you. Use that for motivation for how lucky that you truly are, and look to your right in order to aim upwards and set a goal.
So we went off on a bit of a tangent there, but
of course, as we do.
As we always do. So we're talking about New Year's resolutions, guys. So, speaking about New Year's resolutions, we wanted to touch on the Kickstarter challenge that is going to be happening pretty soon in the gym. Basically, what is the Kickstarter challenge? It's basically a 6-week structured, portion controlled kind of diet that will basically teach you how to build your plate, kind of know what portions look like, get used to tracking your food, being consistent with your meals, being consistent with your macros and all that sort of stuff.
And an opportunity to join a community who are doing the same.
Exactly.
You know, they're all giving up the refined sugar, or at least seriously restricting it. They're all giving up alcohol, and again, severely restricting it in aid of this similar goal.
Yeah. So I feel, just before I get into any more about the Kickstarter challenge, I feel like the accountability of being in it with everybody else, I think that is one of the biggest motivators. Even if you can't motivate yourself, everybody else in this challenge will motivate you, or even seeing everybody else doing well will hopefully spur you on to try harder than you're trying, or to be better than you're being.
And sorry, there's also a diet bet aspect to it as well. So, which case, you know, you pay an accountability deposit to say that if you don't hit your goal in X amount of time, you're going to lose the deposit of, you know, however much money. I think it's €100. So essentially, you put a €100 bet on yourself, saying I'm going to lose 5%, or I'm going to lose a stone, and nor love nor money is going to, well, maybe money is going to derail me from hitting this goal, because I've put my money where my mouth is, so to speak, and I'm going to follow through. And just, it's again another thing to leverage you towards the win. There's a social proof, or the social aspect, social positive peer pressure, which is another thing that's going to leverage towards the win.
Money is definitely a big motivator for people. Just as Brandon said there, so Kickstarter challenge, basically it is 6 weeks, and in that 6 weeks, depending on how kind of what your body fat level is, height, weight, age, all that sort of stuff, it is 5% body fat or 14 pounds, which is 1 stone in 6 weeks. That's about 2. For people going for 14 pounds, that's about 2.33 pounds per week. So
which
it's
that's not too drastic.
It's I wouldn't call it any sort of, you know, biggest loser fad diet sort of thing. I think it's more of just introducing someone that doesn't know how to eat, doesn't know how to track, doesn't know how to be healthy, just introducing them to what a real adult diet should look like.
And not even, I wouldn't say an adult diet, because it is
a mature diet.
Yeah, but it's also a little bit restrictive as well. Because
of course,
yes, yeah. It's also sent towards weight loss. So the type of foods you're going to eat are obviously, they're all whole foods, all nutrient dense. But the big thing about it is, you know, it's starting off maybe not an extreme, but a little bit more extreme than an otherwise fat loss sustainable diet. It's a power push. And It means then, if in 6 weeks you can lose a stone, after that, if you started off with that, it's like after you've done that, 1 pound a week is going to be completely sustainable. Of course. You're probably eating another 300, 250 calories.
And guys, after your 6 week challenge is over, you will then be graduated onto our kind of flexible dieting approach, which is basically, obviously your calories will be increased. Your kind of calorie deficit will be probably decreased by maybe, I would like to say maybe a full meal. So that it'll add another 500 calories onto your day, and then we'll be using everybody's favorite MyFitnessPal. That's probably one of the best. It's probably the best app out there for maintaining your nutrition long term. And I think anybody that doesn't know what it is, download MyFitnessPal. It has been a godsend. If you get good at using that, you will be great at your nutrition. So guys, again, if anybody's interested, we're starting on the 13th of January. Drop us an email at fightingfitirl@gmail.com, and if you're not a current gym member, get yourself signed up today. If you are a current gym member, €100 accountability deposit. And if you are Johnny Big Wallet and you don't think €100 is enough, we will take as much money as you want to bet on yourself, but just be sure that you are going to lose whatever weight it is, because if you don't, we will give it to a charity that you despise.
A charity is...
Or worse, we will burn your money in front of you. That has been threatened to me before, and it definitely was a powerful motivator. So, guys, anyone interested, get in touch.
The key being that it stings a little bit. You should make
Sting.
it. Yeah, you should make
If 100 euro doesn't sting, go bigger. If 100 euro stings too much,
probably that's the right amount.
yeah. If 100 euro stings too much, don't go any further. Next up, New Year's resolutions. Let me see.
Yeah, so I think. I mean, we're getting pretty late into this, so we're just gonna maybe wrap it up with a few announcements.
Yeah.
So the white collar hopefully will be coming up this year. Again,
April time, hopefully.
the white collar, guys, is it's a two-sided coin. It's very, very tough, but very, very rewarding. It's one of them things that you just got to do the work with. But you do the work and you reap the benefit. You're starting to develop a skill. Obviously, you're talking about physical contact with a full-grown person, so it's important that we lay a foundation of skills. I think we do is it a 6 week?
10 weeks.
10 weeks, yeah, even longer. That's
Guys, I'd say we definitely have the most in-depth training system in place behind our white collar events in, I want to say it, the country nearly.
I'd like to think so.
4 nights a week, an hour and a half every night training for 10 weeks up until the fight. So that is what
with three at least national level
so that's
coaches. Like, I mean,
6 hours. What's that? Is that an hour and a half? 4? 6 hours training per week. So that is 60 hours of boxing training to get you ready to step in the ring against someone that is as evenly matched to you as possible, guys. And as Brandon said, I've partook in the last fight for white collar, and I think it's really good not only for kind of challenging yourself to learn new skill and to push your body to the limit. I think it's also very good for bringing the confidence and the self-esteem out of yourself that you maybe thought you didn't have before. Like, getting up in front of a crowd is I think getting up in front of a crowd is the hardest part of it all. But I really think that if you think you're the type of person that couldn't do it, you're the type of person that should do it.
Definitely, but it is also a case is like you have to take your health into consideration. Taking hits to the head is obviously not advised if you're not the kind of person who is going to do the training, because
yes,
we don't want anybody to go in there and be a punch bag. We wouldn't let anybody who wouldn't be capable of defending themselves do it. But the idea being that we will train you to do that through the process of taking you from absolutely no experience boxing through a 10-week intensive course, and again would pair you off with somebody of a similar level. It's really great opportunity to kind of stretch yourself. So as I said, kind of I would if you're thinking about it, if you're only even kind of half thinking about it, I would definitely advise that everybody give it a go. You know, if you're a pacifist and you're completely against boxing, maybe it's not for you. But you know, if you're half thinking about it, if you're on the fence, get off the fence. It's definitely worth your while. It's a fantastic experience. The highs are high, the lows are low, but I tell you, those highs are insanely good, and again, it's rewarding.
And then just to touch on one thing Brandon said there, that obviously we wouldn't put anybody in the ring that is not ready or we don't think is capable of stepping into the ring. Guys, if you do decide to sign up, if you're not at least 75% of the training sessions, you're out.
Yeah.
After the first couple of weeks, guys, if we don't see you train there consistently, we can't in
good practice.
We couldn't in good practice let someone who's just been laxy-daisy for 10 weeks step in the ring and could potentially hurt themselves and somebody else. So guys, if you are interested in white collar, it is a commitment. No, what's the word? No, what's a good word for lazy? No slackers. Alright, no slackers.
No part-timers.
Anything else that you wanted to discuss?
I think that's really it, guys. I just will leave you with, just remember, guys, discipline is not a punishment. Discipline is a way of life, and essentially what you want to do, guys, is you want to start doing the things you know you should do when you don't want to do them. That's discipline. So if you can train yourself, and again, it will get easier as time goes on. So if you keep knowing, you should probably write a shopping list, do a nutrition plan, join a gym, and start exercising, maybe lose the weight, but you find yourself unable to do it, you need discipline in your life. You need to be able to crack the whip on yourself. That doesn't mean that you should bully yourself or force yourself to do these things against all odds and regardless of how you're feeling, but it does mean that you pick up a load that is heavy enough that it stresses you out a little bit, and is going to make you grow. After all, muscles grow under stress, so it's good to pick up something that's heavy and difficult. And again, the more you do it, the better you get. And don't forget, guys, the big thing is you got to reward yourself for when you do it.
Just about to say that. I'm thinking like, if you have consistently, let's just say you got a checklist of 10 things that you know you need to do. If you consistently have been doing 0 out of 10 for a long time, and on next week you do 1 out of 10, that is a small win. The week after, maybe you do 1 again. Week after, maybe it jumps to 3, maybe it goes to 2. I think it's very important to take the small wins when you get them, and they will the small wins kind of add on and add on and add on to each other to come up to this big win that you you want. But you can't just have one big win out of nowhere. You need to
build momentum.
You need to build the momentum, get the ball rolling with the small wins, and the big win will come.
Love it. Niall, great chatting as always. Love it.
You too. I'll chat to you as soon as this is over as well. And then probably tomorrow.
Guys, thanks so much for listening to the Fighting Fit podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow us on social media. I am FF Movement Coach on Instagram, and the YouTube channel is Fighting Fit.
Fighting Fit, and I am at FF Niall _ Valentine or Niall _ Valentine. I'm pretty sure those are the 2 handles, so follow me on both of them.
Brilliant stuff, guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.
See you later.
Peace.